This video is brought to you by Sangeeta Gadgets. Hi guys, this is Ranjit, and in this video we'll be doing the in-depth review for this Google Pixel 10 Pro XL smartphone. And guys, if you have been following me, about 2 weeks ago I had posted the review of this Pixel 10, and I have been actually testing this Pixel Pro XL for the last 2 weeks. So let's get on with the review. And if you haven't watched the video of the Pixel 10 yet, I would urge that you watch that, because I feel this is a pretty important handset this time. So anyways, I won't go over all the aspects. I've covered a lot of aspects about the Pixel 10 series in that video. That's why I'm telling you to watch that also. So let's get on with this one. Obviously, this is the Pro XL. So this is the bigger one, and this is actually having a 6.8-inch screen, whereas the regular Pixel is having a 6.3-inch screen. Whereas I would say this is a comfortable single-handed device, and this is slightly on the bigger side, obviously. Technically speaking, the screen quality is slightly supposed to be better. This is a proper LTPO screen, so this can go down to 1 Hz. So if you're a person who is going to use that always on display, which actually this one has, even when you're charging and stuff, you get some nice clock animations, and so that way I would say the Pro series are better. Also, one more area where I noticed that the Pro is slightly better is the bezels. If you notice, slightly thinner on the Pro. Obviously, the Pro, the price difference between the Pixel 10 and the the 10 Pro XL is almost 40,000. So I won't mind the slightly higher bezels. So that's what it is. Good thing is that even this one is actually super bright, and in outdoor direct sunlight also it is easily visible. So that way I would say in terms of screen quality, I did not have any issues with this one. It's actually very good. But one thing I missed, because the pricing is pretty expensive, the Pro series, Pro XL is very expensive, almost about 1,20,000. I feel the Google team should have added some sort of anti-reflection coating on this one, like we see on the Samsung Galaxy Ultra series or something like that. So that is something I miss. But apart from that, in terms of screen quality, I don't have any issues. Again, this is also 120 Hz and all these things, LTPO screen. One thing I noticed is that on these Pro series, if you notice this one, again, this is metallic. We have Gorilla Glass, Victus, and all these things. This one is matte. So on the regular one, as you can see, this is very shiny glass or something, and shows every damn fingerprint. So this one, I like that this does not show the fingerprints and all this thing. It has a matte glass, and also the railing over here is actually glossy, which I'm not a big fan. On the regular Pixel 10, they had it in the same color. This I feel looks a lot more elegant. Here I see some fingerprints on this one, so that is what it is. Apart from that, it's actually good. A good thing is that both of them are having ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, but here I'm slightly disappointed. As you can see, ultrasonic fingerprint scanner works brilliantly on this one. That's not a problem. I never had a issue or something. But have you noticed, if the screen is switched off, the ultrasonic scanner is not working? And many of the other smartphones on which ultrasonic scanner was there, they work even when the screen display is off. So I don't know why this sort of implementation is there. The whole logic of ultrasonic fingerprint scanner was that if the screen is also not lit up, then it should be able to work. But that's not the case. Anyways, next thing that I love on these Pixel 10 series, and this is a huge improvement, I would say, and I can easily say that this is the best in the whole industry. No iPhone, no Samsung, no nothing comes close to it, and that is regarding the haptic feedback. The haptic motors on these smartphones is done exceptionally well. That was even the case with the regular Pixel 10, and that's the same case with the XL. The good thing is that it's outstanding, and within the entire OS it's calibrated very well. So if you are a fan of haptics, then this is the smartphone for you. Go to any store or etc. and check it out in person. You'll be thoroughly impressed with the haptics on this one. Coming to one thing that I noticed is that the weight of the smartphone has increased quite a bit, I would say. And now this one, for that 6.8 inch or something, is certainly on one of the most heaviest phone out there. This is almost 232 grams, which I feel is slightly on the heavier side. So it might take you a couple of days to get used to the same. Technically, one thing that I like on this one, and you could say if you are from Apple world, you love it. That's there even on the regular Pixel 10. Now these have Qi charging, so think of that MagSafe for Pixels. And the Pro XL, not the regular Pro, the Pro XL in fact also supports that wireless Qi charging, that is the MagSafe kind of charging up to 25 watts wireless, whereas these smaller ones have just 15 watts of charging. So that's actually a really good thing. And the best part is that if you have older iPhones or MagSafe accessories, they will also work with this one. Also coming to charging, the charging is slightly technically better on this Pro XL. This is supposed to charge at with a maximum of 45 watts, whereas this is about maxes out about 30, I think so. But again, still these are not fast charging devices. If you drain it completely, it will take anywhere almost about 1.5 hours to 1 hour 40 minutes based on what you're doing with the device. So yes, nice to see that fast charging, but it's not super fast charging like we have seen on some other devices. Next thing is regarding reception. Some of you have asked me about this one, and I did not have any issues regarding reception on this one. Neither I had the issue with the Pixel 10 also, and I tested it in my primary SIM. Right now I've just taken out the primary SIM and put it in my this Fold 7, but I did not have any issues in the past 2 weeks regarding the network reception. I would say network reception was good on this one. Wi-Fi calling also works, but again it is toggled in the reverse order, so you have to just go into the settings and reverse it, because it gives priority to mobile data even if you enable Wi-Fi calling by default, but you can change the priority to Wi-Fi. So that way I did not have any issues with the network. Even 5G speeds were actually good. So looks like the issues that were plaguing the earlier Pixel devices, the modem issues and all those things, that are finally solved. Now coming to one big thing with these new Pixel is that now they have moved from the Samsung foundries to TSMC's 3 nanometer process, and this Tensor 5 chip that they have on this one, this is the first chip actually you could say that was completely designed by Google. Earlier it was basically Samsung Exynos and some additions or that modifications Google was doing, but this is a pure chip that was designed by Google. And to be very frank, as we as tech enthusiasts had too much expectations with this one, and if you have that sort of expectations that will match the Snapdragon 8 Elites of the world or something, no, you will be disappointed. In raw benchmarks, still these Pixels don't do that great. And I ran some benchmarks. Let me just show you. Just before I just ran this benchmark, and as you can see, for single core we got a score of 2267, and for multi-core 6054, which is significantly lower than what you can get with Snapdragon 8 Elite chips that we are getting. In fact, on the regular Pixel 10 it's even lower. As you can see, this was on the regular Pixel 10. That is so looks like they are throttling the chip on the Pixel 10, because one thing to note is that the regular Pixel 10 does not have the vapor chamber on it. The good thing is that it does not get as hot as the older Pixels. If you recall, 7, 8 and even 9 to an extent, I would say regular one heated quite a bit. That is not the case. But again, as this does not have the vapor chamber, I think so Google is throttling this regular Pixel 10 chip quite a bit. So yes, the Pro gets slightly higher values, but again, if you start comparing it with Snapdragon 8 Elite, it's still about 45 to 50% slower. So that's what it is. But again, don't get fooled. I am not too much into benchmarks and all this thing. I did not face any lagging issues or anything with this device. Another good thing is that because of this new chip, the G5, definitely I would say the G5 heats a little bit less compared to the older Tensor chips, and that shows that on this device, only when I was setting up it got warm, but apart from that, in past 2 weeks when I was using it, even mobile data and stuff like that, hardly gets warm. So that way I would say they have done a good job. And also, in terms of battery life, I would say the battery life has actually improved a little bit. I would say not by a great margin compared to the Pixel 9 series, but definitely I have seen an improvement in terms of battery life. This specifically is now also having a bigger battery, that is a 5200 milliamp hour battery, and I saved some screenshots, so let me actually show it to you. The battery life I'm getting. This is one of the best case scenarios that I got. 8 hours 44 minutes of SOT, as you can see, and this one was mostly on what do you say Wi-Fi data, but the good thing is that almost lasted for about 1.5 days. So that talks about the efficiency. This was one more day. This was mostly on mobile data, and I got a screen on time of 6 hours 52 minutes. Again, I used the Google Maps quite a bit, which we know is a battery drain, and one more 6 hours 43 that I got. Again, the good thing is that it almost lasted about 1.5 days between the charge cycles, and this was one of the worst that I got. I would say this was mostly on mobile data. So you can expect from 5 hours to about 8 hours of SOT with over 24 hours in terms of standby, in terms of battery life. So that way I would say, compared to other Android flagships, the battery life is almost very close to the for example, the S25 Ultra, if I recall, when I had tested, also got similar battery life. This might got that 8.5 hours. I think so. This got even slightly better. Again, what we like about Pixel that stands with this one. This is still that Pixel. We get that clean Android experience that you're getting, and also the latest version of Android will come here with the Pixel drop features and all those things. So that's actually not a problem. But one thing to note is that again, this one also, fortunately in India, one of the SIM is a physical SIM, but the second SIM is going to be eSIM. Unlike in US, if I recall, there it's only eSIM, but here luckily we are just getting just one physical SIM also on this device. Okay, before we move ahead, the cameras. Yes, the cameras are different compared to the regular Pixel 10, but here the main camera is a 50 megapixel. Then the ultra wide and the 5x zoom are both 48 megapixel shooter. But before we proceed, I just want to thank the sponsor of this video, that is Sangeeta Gadgets, and you can buy these smartphones and gadgets from Sangeeta, and they will be delivered to you within 30 odd minutes. And also they are offering what do you say accidental coverage, so do check them out. I'll leave the link in the description. So coming back to the camera of this one, again, as you can see, the triple camera is technically better on this one, but not by a huge margin, I would say. But definitely the front facing camera on this one is a 42 megapixel on this one. So let me do one thing, I won't waste time. Let me actually show you the camera samples that I have taken with this smartphone. Let's start with some outdoor shot. This was with the regular lens, and this was with that ultra wide. One more example, this was regular and ultra wide. I like the quality of the ultra wide. This was taken with the 1x. This was actually 2x zoom, and this was finally that 5x zoom. 5x zoom is good, but picture is slightly soft. This was semi lighting conditions, and this was ultra wide. It does a good job, and these were in indoor lighting conditions, all these samples, and these actually also come out good. This was regular 1x. Here I zoomed to 5x, and this, if I recall, was about 10x. Some more samples in those artificial lighting conditions, and they come out very good. This was 1x, and this was at 5x from the same location. Again, indoor shots come out good. And human samples, this was taken in the regular mode, this was portrait mode, and this was portrait mode zoom. Notice the hair blurring, that is slightly on the blurry side still with the Pixel. It has improved, but still that blurring is there. Now for zoom, this was at 1x. This, if I recall, was 5x. This was around 17-18x, and this was at about 48x. One more zoom shot, and I recall this was around 60x. This was with actual picture, and this is what the picture, the ProRes AI made it. Now selfies with the front facing camera, and you can go even wide 0.7x with the selfies, and these were in the portrait bokeh mode. Notice that the background of hair is still not the perfect. For example, in this shot, my wife's hair is completely blurred. In fact, she's also blurred, which is slightly disappointing. I'm recording this video with the rear facing camera, and I've set it to actually 4K 30 FPS, and as you can see, the grass is uneven, so I'm going to walk around it. And at least in the preview, though I'm walking, it's very stable, so the optical stabilization works very well. And within this one, let me just go to the ultra wide. So you can directly go to the ultra wide, and it makes a huge difference. Ultra wide is pretty wide on this one. And this time, what I liked is that with these new Pixel 10 series, when you move between the main lens and ultra wide, there is not that color shift which was there in the earlier series of the Pixel. This is that 5x optical zoom. And let me just quickly jump back to 1x now. And again, that color shift is not there. So that's actually a nice improvement in the video. But still, I would say in terms of video, I would say I feel this is not the best in the industry as of now. There is scope for improvement, and there is quite a bit of noise. Dynamic range as usual is pretty good. So this is a quick sample recorded with the rear facing camera. Now I'm recording this video with the front facing camera, and I'm recording this again at 4K 30 FPS. 4K 60 is also there, but again, if you go to 4K 60, that voice enhancement option gets disabled, which is such a shame, as this is a flagship. That feature should have been enabled. I don't know why. As of now, the voice enhancements is enabled, and if you're shooting video like this, vlog style video, etc., you want whoever is speaking that voice to be clear. So if you're going to do that, then it will be restricted to 4K 30 FPS. I thought this restriction might only be there for the Pixel 10, but that's not the case. Even on this Pixel Pro 10 XL, it's the same case. Now let me just move against the light. Here the lighting is a little bit better. So this is what you can expect with the front facing camera recording at 4K 30 FPS. Overall, I would say it's a good device, but again, talking about the pricing of this one, this is priced actually almost very similar to the last year's Pro XL, which was also again I feel very highly priced in India. That's the same case even with this one. But again, if you look at the regular Pixel 10 and the Pixel 10 Pro XL, the price gap is almost 40,000. And yes, this has slightly better battery life, slightly better screen, or if you're going to use that always on, that LTPO makes a difference, and slightly better back, I would say, that you're getting, and faster, what do you say, wireless charging if you're going to use that Qi charging too. And yes, the camera also is slightly better. The thing is that, does it justify that 40K price point? I frankly feel this time, if I were in the market, I would skip the Pro and just go with the regular Pixel 10. That's my frank opinion, and that's what I am recommending to my friends who mostly prefer Pixel for some reason or other, because they value that clean stock Android experience. So if I were to spend my own money on these devices, I would lean over the Pixel 10, because this time the Pixel 10 does not have that many flaws. I would say that particular heating issues and stuff. And this time they've even given that telephoto lens on this. Yes, the telephoto zoom, that ProRes zoom, is a lot better on this one. But again, after that 30-40x, it's basically using AI to create that picture, and sometimes it just makes up stuff if you zoom too much. So do you want that? Sometimes it is out of the reality. It's just creating stuff from thin air. So that's what it is. So that was my review of the Pixel 10 Pro XL. What do you guys feel about the same? Do let me know in the comment section below. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video.